Now, perform integrated change control is the process of reviewing all the change requests. See, the name itself has change control, which means it controls whatever changes are, appearing on your project, approving changes and managing changes to deliverables, project document, and the project management plan, and communicating the decisions. If a change request is not approved, it will be declined. No impact will happen again on the project management plan or any of the project document. But in case if the change is approved, it will be updated accordingly, and that change has to be a part of your deliverables now. That is the role of perform integrated change control. Then perform integrated change control inputs the project management plan. Some of the plans that you need for managing the change in as a part of the perform integrated change control is your change management plan, the configuration management plan, the change management plan, the configuration management plan, the scope baseline, schedule baseline, cost baseline. All of these will be impacted. Then you also need your project document. Why? Because you need to know what is the basis of estimate, the requirement traceability matrix, and the risk register. Then work performance report. Now, where do you get the work performance report from? You remember, it was an output from the previous process, which is monitor and control project work. So work performance report of particular interest to the performance integrated change control process includes resource availability, schedule and cost data, earned value reports, and burn up or burn down charts. These are all the ways of presenting the work performance report. It is nothing but giving a brief about where the project is progressing, what is the status on the project, and how do we manage the changes that are coming up. And some of the documents that you also need is your change request. You remember, change request is also an output from the monitor and control project work. Change request may include corrective action, preventive action, defect repair. Now, these are all the changes that may come up during the course of your project. Yeah. You also need your EEFs. EEFs originate from outside the project and outside the enterprise. The project team does not have a control over that. And you also need your OPAs. Alright, so now let's see what are the tools and techniques. Expert judgment. Expert comes everywhere. You will see expert in most of the processes, and specifically in the integration, experts are available because integration is the most important knowledge area where everything comes together and gets combined, right? So expertise can be individuals or groups of the specialized knowledge or training. Change control tools. Now there are some of the tools that the team of change control board uses in order to facilitate configuration and change management. Manual or automated tools may be used. It can depend whether you want to use a sophisticated automated tool or you want to use a manual tool. Tool selection should be based on the need of the project stakeholder, including the organization and environment consideration and or the constraints. It all depends upon which environment you are, which organization you work for, what is the enterprise that you work for, and what are the factors that are impacting your organization. All the change control tools, whether it is manual or automated, depends upon that. Again, the data analysis. We use data analysis during monitoring and controlling your project work as well. Similarly, you will use it during your perform integrated change control process also. So alternate analysis, we already spoken about this previously. This technique is used to access the requested changes and decide which are accepted, rejected, or need to be modified to be finally accepted. Again, about the cost benefit analysis, this comes when the matter is associated with the cost. This analysis helps to determine if the requested change is worth its associated cost. Your cost is, the change is worth of whatever you are going to invest in terms of the money, in terms of cost. Then comes your decision making. Decision making technique that can be used for this purpose includes voting. Voting is again decision making, autocratic decision making, and multi-criteria decision making. Then other tools and techniques which is often used for perform integrated change control is meetings, You meet the stakeholders, you meet other team members, you meet the sponsor to decide whether a change is requested. The change that is requested needs to be approved or rejected or deferred. Approved change request. Now this is an output from perform integrated change control. Change requests are processed according to the change management plan. Remember that we prepared a change management plan during the planning process. Now whatever it has been approved, whatever it has been mentioned in the change management plan, the changes will be approved accordingly. So change requests are processed according to the change management plan by the project manager, the change control board, or an assigned team member. Whoever is being assigned for this specific work will be executing the changes that have been approved. Project management plan now gets updated. Any formally controlled component of the project management plan may be changed as a result of this process. Changes to the baseline are only made from the last baseline forward. Whatever was updated in the last baseline, from that onwards, the changes will now be updated. Past performance is not changed. Remember, this is very critical. Underline this, that your past performance will not change. Whatever changes to the baseline will happen from now onwards, from whatever it has been updated now. Whatever change, whatever has happened earlier has happened. And the project documents get updated. Any formally controlled project document may be changed as a result of this process. A project document that is normally updated is the change log. The change log is used to document changes that occur during a